Hey everyone, it's Jules. I am actually at work waiting for a meeting at the moment. Let me show you the hotel that I'm in right now. It's pretty fancy. I'm at the Four Seasons in Boston. I'm surprised I have not been asked to leave yet, even though I actually have a legitimate meeting here with the catering manager, but that's okay. Hi. How are you all? So I was talking with Sewell and we wanted to make a little update meeting where we left off. So Sewell is obviously at work and I'm at work, but we are going to do a fun video this weekend that we're planning on doing. Okay, so we last left off with TTC update. I'm sorry it was abrupt. I was getting a work call and it was very dramatic the way I ended it, and I didn't mean for that. I was literally talking for another 30 seconds after I realized that it died. So the day before our wedding, we were scheduled for this ultrasound to find out the answer if I was diagnosed with a cornered uterus or if it was a variation of the norm. So that was where we left off, the day before our wedding. So my bride-to-be and I woke up bright and early the day before our wedding. We had tons of stuff to drop off at our venue for our wedding. We were having like basically a rehearsal and a rehearsal dinner that night. So 24 hours before the wedding. So we go and I wear a bride, I have like a bride bathrobe and I wear that because it's the day before my wedding, and if we're gonna get bad or good news, I want to be in my bride bathrobe. So I wore it. Oh yes, I did. Sewell was amazing and she was lovely and supportive, and we had already made the decision that we weren't going to elect for a surgery, so even if we got bad news, we were going to kind of continue on with trying for TTC and doing our IUIs, and that we last left it with our doctor when he sent us to this ultrasound that we were not going to find out, meaning the next day was our wedding after this ultrasound, and we were on a plane the day after that, 23 hours after we say I do, we were on a plane to our honeymoon, so we weren't going to find out. Our actual fertility doctor really recommended not finding out until we got back anyways, and we were okay with that. We hated it, but we were okay with that. So we walk in, it's the 3D ultrasound, so they do a regular ultrasound, basically on top, trying to kind of find everything and see everything that they need to see, and then they do an internal ultrasound. I'm talking about ultrasounds and uterus shapes at the Four Seasons. Classy. Hashtag two bride family. Okay, so we are fine with the ultrasound in general, and then they go internal, and it is, anyone that has internal ultrasounds, I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna lie. The HSG was the worst, right? And that wasn't that bad. You can look on my other video about talking real talk about HSG. It wasn't too bad. IUI is not bad at all, but the 3D ultrasound was, any internal ultrasounds I don't like. It's just not good. Well, turns out I know now why they're probably painful for me. So they go in, and the ultrasound tech, she's probably a nurse, she's not talking too much about anything really, but she's not, oh, you guys know when you're in for a medical test, you know that they either ignore you, that you're a human being and they do their jobs, which probably could mean bad news, or they're like, oh, everything looks great, everything's awesome. So she didn't do either one, but she was definitely like not ignoring us. She was talking with us, she was talking about the wedding. She was like, okay, this looks all right, yep, yep. Oh, I see what they meant, yeah. And so they weren't really, she wasn't saying anything much, but she definitely was being positive. So I'm looking at Sewell, Sewell's looking at me, and now remember guys, the plan is we're going on our honeymoon the day after our wedding. So tomorrow's our wedding, the day after that is our honeymoon for 2 weeks. We're not finding out. But her and I are looking at each other and we're like, okay, if this shit's good news, we want to know before the wedding. But if it's bad news, don't tell us, right? So like, that's stupid. But anyways, so she's like, okay, well, it's standard procedure. I'm gonna go ahead and get the doctor in here to, you know, take a look at you as well. Everything looks good, but yeah, we're just gonna have her, you know, come in and it's procedure. So she leaves the room. So Sewell and I are like, well, they're not being quiet, and I don't know, like, let's just find out. Like, if it's bad news, we're getting married tomorrow, and we're going on our honeymoon, and we're going to try for this baby no matter what. And if it's great news, hello, like, that's what we want, right? So her and I basically decide, if the doctor comes in here right now and starts talking, we're not going to be like, oh, hey, we're not like finding out until after our honeymoon. We're not going to do that. We're just going to let whatever happens. If she refuses to tell us anything, then that's fine too, right? So the nurse that was doing the ultrasound at first comes in, and now the doctor comes in, who is super confident. She's awesome. She's a little bit of an older woman than the technician. She's very confident. She comes in. She's very confident with her hands, if you know what I mean. So she's like, oh, okay, yep, oh, I see what, you know, your fertility doctor means when you look at just a regular X-ray ultrasound and not a 3D. Oh, your blah 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 looks beautiful. I don't know what she said, but it was the Latin name for that you've ovulated. She's like, oh, your blah 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 looks beautiful. Oh, you have a beautiful uterus. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. So you do have, you know, a variation of the norm. Now, her Sewell and I are looking at each other. Remember, we're not supposed to know. And she's telling us, no, absolutely, this definitely isn't a cornered uterus. You have a great shape to your uterus. It's definitely more of a T shape. It's a bit of a curved uterus, but everything looks great. I don't foresee any issues with IUIs. And it's definitely not a cornered uterus, and 100% no surgery. I would not recommend surgery at all for this because it's a norm. So we found out good news the day before our wedding, you guys. We were so happy, and I can't believe we just went with it and trusted it, and we were able to find out about the good news. This was the day before the wedding. So we woke up. So everything was great. We left the office. I had my little bride bathrobe on. I think we started dropping things off at the venue. We picked up my mom. We dropped her off at the Westin Hotel. Like, we started our wedding, basically. So I'm so glad that we found out when we did. And then we went on our honeymoon, and everything was good, and we were full steam ahead for our very first IUI. So we have a huge update for you guys, and we're so excited to tell you that we are officially trying. We are officially, not that we were ever not in TTC, but we have had our first IUI, and I'm going to explain a little bit about that process for anyone who's on here who's nervous about their first IUI. But we came back right off the bat off the honeymoon. We went in that Monday. Our fertility doctor told us the good news after our honeymoon, which we already knew about for 2 weeks. That everything looks great. All of our testing is good. It's just a curved uterus. Like, nothing with the uterus is an issue now. And we're gonna go ahead and proceed. How would you like to proceed? And my wife and I did go ahead and proceed with a natural cycle, meaning everything is monitored at home, so you become very obsessive with those flashing solid smileys, and yeah, we decided to go ahead full steam ahead with a natural first ever IUI cycle. So we're so excited to tell you that that has happened, and we'll give you more updates that we have on that. And we are officially definitely in TTC mode with at least one IUI since the wedding under our belt. Maybe more than that. Maybe we have other updates. Please subscribe below. We said that we would do something special for 100 if we got up to 100 subscribers. But comment below, tell us if you've had an ultrasound done, and a 3D internal ultrasound. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just it's very all up in there. But yeah, comment below if you have questions about that. Much love to all the people that are following us, and happy November to you all. And I cannot believe that we are going to be celebrating our first ever Thanksgiving as a married couple. We are so excited about it. Many kisses, and hope you all are just having an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon. And I promise you, I'm gonna get my wife on here. We want to do something. We want to do another TTC update this weekend, but we also want to do like something fun, like a fun how many marshmallows can we fit in our mouth, or wife tags. I don't know. If you have any suggestions on what you would like us to do, comment below. But yeah, we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye guys.